Hi, everybody. It's July, and this image for our Astro Healing Circle is so appropriate, of course, in so many ways. Many of us on the call are experiencing extreme heat, and we've just gone through, the Eastern Seaboard has gone through a huge heat wave last week as well. And that is right in line with the astrology. Velan's going to be talking about that. So, in order to keep our cool, because the thing about heat is it speeds up the energy, right? Fire moves molecules quickly, or molecules in fire move quickly. So, let's take a moment to slow ourselves down, just bringing in the breath. And we can do, as you know, in yoga, there are breaths that you can do that are intentionally bringing the heat. And that tends to be breath that is quick and through the mouth. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to breathe slowly, especially on the exhale, which is cooling. And we're going to breathe through the nose. So in through the nose and out through the nose with lengthened exhale. And you can put your hand maybe on your belly button if that's not too, just below your belly button, if that's not too warm for you, if your hands and feet aren't too warm. So just take a moment here, nice deep breath in through the nose very slowly, and then lengthening the exhale. And then one more. And then lengthening the exhale. And then a third one. We always do 3 for form. Inhale gently. And exhale through the nose, slowly, nice and long. So 3 breaths to bring us into our body a little bit more, help us to settle, to be a little bit more grounded. And you can continue to do that as Belen shares Zora's message with us. And before we jump into that, just reminding everybody that every month, and we just did it last night, we have an inner wisdom circle, and we invite a variety of facilitators. You can see this is a list from this year, to come and offer their expertise, their perspective, their teaching, their such powerful pieces that they offer us. And Sarah Brimson was just with us last night. She does yoga nidra. That's one of the things she does. But last night she was working on human design with us, which was fascinating. And we are just loving circle. So if you're interested in what we do, reach out to us and we can talk to you about sharing in the love with us. So here with Zora's love is Belen.
So this is the message that came through actually today because I've had a busy time and couldn't do it ahead of time. My dear ones, we would like you to know through the journey of this evolution that is occurring on your planet, each of you is supported and encouraged to acknowledge the truth of your true essence and to live that out in your day-to-day life. This is a powerful time that is allowing you to step into a place in yourself that you have always known. This portal of change is asking you to live your authenticity in your own way. Know that all of you are aware of these energies as experienced in various parts of your life. And in this awareness, you can open to the personal healing journey that is being offered to you at this time. There is much joy that is to be had in these new energies that you're experiencing. So set your personal intention to allow for this flow to support you to be exactly who you've chosen to be in this lifetime.
Beautiful. So let's just sit with that message for a moment again. 3 more breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, lengthening the exhale. So we're intentionally cooling, slowing. We're inviting that yin energy in because there's so much yang right now, so much of that fire and air energy right now. And there are some balancing energies that are being offered to us, which Belen's going to talk about a little bit. But our job here is to really stay grounded or continually, intentionally be grounded And using our breath is such an easy way. And another way is to just wiggle your toes and rub your fingertips and thumb together to just bring awareness to your physical body just at the extremities, and breathe at the same time, just being really present to yourself. And a reminder that we will be doing some energy rebalancing today. And so if you would prefer, for whatever reason, doesn't matter, that you not be involved, that I not do energy rebalancing for you, please just say no thank you in the chat. You can send it to me personally if you prefer, or just throw it into the general chat to let us know that you prefer not to participate in that aspect today. Otherwise, I will accept your silence as acquiescence and agreement to be involved. And we're going to move forward with our starting with the heart today.
So Jupiter moved into Leo actually at the very end of last month. I might have touched on it, but I didn't because it was the 29th. But well, I'll leave it for this month because how wonderful is that? Jupiter is the planet in our charts that brings us growth, opportunity, blessings, wisdom. It has to do with our beliefs. There's luck involved. It's this beautiful, expansive, uplifting planetary energy. Shifting into Leo, Leo is about our creative expression, our confidence, our courage, our stepping into leadership. It's finding joy and playfulness and finding our passion. So when we combine these things, Jupiter is saying, let's expand that part of our life. So where if you happen to know where the Leo part of your chart is, you can look at that as a way of paying attention to where the opportunities may fall for you. And because this planet spends a year in each sign, in each house, so you can look at, pay attention to where you are finding joy in your life. And the piece about Jupiter is that it doesn't actually, it doesn't hit you over the head. It might open a door. You have to choose when you step through. You may give you a gift. You have to choose whether to open it. So all of these pieces are part of paying attention to where the opportunities fall and what places feel aligned for you to step into them. So in general, this is a beautiful time to express your courage and your confidence. Jupiter is supporting that. It's creating opportunities to share your gifts and creativity with generosity. Jupiter or Leo is open-hearted energy. It allows us to embrace the gift of being seen for who we truly are. Jupiter, keep messing up, I think I'm too hot. Leo is about stepping into our sense of self, about shining as who we are. It's very much about Leo. And there's a lovely place where the Leoness connects us to our heart center. So this is a lovely time as well to explore your connection to the heart and what that brings to your life. And another piece of this, which is so lovely, it's almost inner child and stepping into that youthfulness of celebration of life with an open heart. There's almost an innocence of this, just being in the celebration of life, which is a beautiful place where we can be uplifted. And it is also with the Leo energy, making room for joy and playfulness, following your passion. All these pieces are going to be energized, supported in different parts of your life. So it's a beautiful time to really pay attention to where this is happening for you and follow that joy, follow that playfulness. And because Jupiter expands everything, there is a potential to overcommit or overdo through being overconfident, overextending yourself. And so just to pay attention, once again, if you know your chart, know where the Leo piece of your chart is, to pay attention to where this is happening for you so that you can pull yourself back if you find yourself stepping into this. This is something that I do often, and I will be paying attention to that for myself. Watch for the expression of the ego self rather than the expression from your wisdom. So there's a place where Leo can be very, connected to the ego. So what we want to do is make sure that what we're uplifting, what we're expanding is the higher energies of this configuration. And that's stepping into our beliefs and the grace of this for us, our own wisdom.
Muted. There we go. Love that. And just, I'm always reminding myself that Leo is ruled by the sun. And so, we know what sun overexposure can do to us. Those of us who live in this particular part of the world at this time of year, heat stroke and sunburn, like it's intense. There's a lot of intensity. And so taking that into account, I think, at this time of year, right, Valen? Like, I think it's a thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And there is, I mean, you mentioned this earlier, the heat and a lot of us have been suffering from heat in different parts of the world. Part of this is, astrologically, this Jupiter expanding the heat. So it's the fire energy. So it is all part, we need to take care of ourselves within our own environments.
Okay, so working with this, we're going to focus on the celebrate life with an open heart piece of what Velen just shared. And in order for me to be able to read this, I got to move that over. There we go. Okay, so we're going to begin by naming something that helps you feel more open-hearted. Keep it simple. And it's not necessarily, we're not asking you, what do you do to feel more open-hearted? That's not the question. The question is, name something, and it could be internal to you or external to you. It could be another person. It could be a situation. It could be a practice that you have, whatever it is, one thing that helps you feel more open-hearted. And if you are up for it, look at you, Janice, right on top of it. Throw it into the chat for us. So Valen's saying simplicity. So teaching others, trust, curiosity, empathy. Beautiful. So when I hear things like trust, curiosity, and empathy and simplicity, I love that because it can work both as an internal and an external piece that supports us, right? So we need to look for that. We're also getting gratitude, safety, and trust. When we have those pieces internally, we can work with that. Play and friends, love that. So Leo and Gemini. So looking to that in your life and now asking yourself, how might I bring more attention to that in my daily life? So in terms of not having expectations, in terms of play, in terms of trust, in terms of gratitude, empathy, curiosity, simplicity, teaching others, how might you bring more attention to that in your daily life? So just contemplating that for yourself. And as Valen brings us through the next slide, I will be balancing you to feel into how it is that you can hold your energy, specifically can hold 100% for this piece that you've chosen for yourself.
So we've got an interesting thing that's happened towards the end of the month. We're going to really ramp up the air and the fire in the sky towards the end of the month. We've still got a lot of earth and water that's balancing things out, but we're moving into this time. And part of that is the nodes of the moon are shifting into Aquarius, air, and Leo, fire. And the North Node is where our destiny is pulling us forward. It's our future path. It's stretching ourselves beyond what we're necessarily feel comfortable or easy. It's creating us a path of soul growth. The South Node, which happens to be in Leo, is going to be this places where we need to release and maybe acknowledge the gifts that we have. So looking at our ego, the drama that we may create in our life, our sense of self-importance, a need to be seen, but it's also our creative identity. It's our leadership. It's our heart-centered gifts. So there's a beautiful aspect of the South Node. It's like there's places that are really comfortable, that we're really good at, that we feel it is within our comfort zone, and we are being stretched and pulled forward into this new direction. And that is going to start happening at the end of this month. So with these energies, we are being encouraged to follow our unique path, to step out on our own, know that we are living authentically, and allow ourselves to be it's like our soul pulls us forward, puts opportunities, brings opportunities forward that we can align to and take action on, step into. And Aquarius is very much about being our own individual self, but being part of a collective. So as I've been saying, probably for the last year or two, if we were all comfortable in being our own unique self, living authentically, that uplifts our whole community. That allows the community to flourish and gives permission for everyone to be themselves. So there's a part of finding ways that we can just be really authentic in a way that actually supports the people around us. And because of all the things that are going on that are shifting and changing in this monumental year of 2026, there's an opportunity here to stay open to ideas, to beliefs, to perspectives that take you out of your comfort zone. And recognize comfort zone. It is not always comfortable to be out of that. So this is a huge opportunity for all of us as we explore ourselves in a new way to actually be aware of the places where we think, I don't know about that. And to look at it with curiosity, like, I don't know who, I think that was Amara put in. There's also that place, this ties in the open-heartedness, the Leo part is finding the gifts in collaborating with an open heart. And there's going to be lots of opportunities for this. So to recognize when you're being true to yourself, you can truly open with others, with whoever's supporting you, your friends, your networks, whoever is in your circle, and find ways to work with each other, maintaining an open heart. And because the South Node is about releasing, it's an opportunity over the next 18 months, that's the cycle of the nodes, to release old stories that promote drama in your life. Drama was Leo, releasing the old stories is the South Node. So what a beautiful opportunity to recognize these places in ourselves where we're creating something that we can let go of. We really don't need it anymore. And to fully recognize how each of our unique gifts that we all have contributes to something larger than yourself. So it's that place where, and I'll talk about this more in the next slide, but that place where when we just acknowledge who we are in truth, in our essence, we are connected to something larger than ourselves. And to really honor that and to step into that fully as the nodes shift into Aquarius and Leo.
Okay, so for those of you whom I needed to do a little bit of rebalancing for, I put some notes in the chat for you. Everybody else, you're at 100%, and everybody's at 100% holding now for your piece of open-heartedness, whatever it is that works for you. Okay, so the focus I love this image, by the way, Belen, and close up, it's just like even better.
I know, isn't it great?
So
that's someone who is their unique self.
Oh, I love it so much. So the focus for now is going to be staying open to perspectives that stretch you beyond your comfort zone. So it's a good thing that we just balanced you for being open-hearted, because we're going to practice being in our uncomfortable zone. Consider something that makes you uncomfortable. Now, we're not going to do anything big. Don't choose the biggest thing. Okay, so if you're having a rough go with your partner right now, or if one of your kids is having a hard time, or if you're really upset or grieving about something, don't choose that. So we're not looking at grief here. We're looking at discomfort. So it might be like a point of view, a perspective, a political perspective, a social awkwardness, speaking up for yourself, showing up more, asking for something in a way that you haven't in the past, being true to yourself in a way that feels different. And I just want you to consider one thing, something that makes you uncomfortable, not too uncomfortable, just a little bit, and nothing that is like morally defunct. So we all have things that are real boundary issues for us, or places where we're just not going to go ever. That's not what I'm talking about here. Okay. And you're going to just take a minute to sit with it without judgment. So when I say take a minute, notice that it's capitalized. That's because there's a process to take a minute. And so we're going to take a minute together. So take one hand. I like to use my non-dominant hand. Place it on that nice open-hearted energy center that you were just practicing opening up. If you want to help yourself feel grounded in this, take your other hand, put it on your belly, just below your belly button. Okay, so we're connecting with the second and the fourth chakras here. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, remembering we started at the beginning with that long exhalation. So we're just lengthening the exhale. And I want you to do a breath that feels comfortable for you. So one of the challenges that I always had in yoga class, whether it was me doing it or somebody else doing it, was that we all seem to have a way of breathing that's comfortable for us. And you can create discomfort with your breath, but that's not the point here. The point here is not to create physical discomfort. The point is to support and soothe yourself through this process of thinking about something or considering something that's uncomfortable. So it's going to make you uncomfortable enough. You don't have to make yourself more uncomfortable. So find a way to breathe that feels good to you, whatever length of breath. I like really long ones, but not everybody does. So I might do 6 to 8 beats on the inhale and then a lengthened exhale, but you may prefer just 4 and 6. That's kind of an average. So just feel into it for yourself. You yoga teacher folks are going to maybe have longer breaths. You know who you are. So just take a nice deep breath in, whatever speed, in through the nose. You can close your eyes if that feels good to you, really feeling the comforting holding that you're offering for yourself with hand on heart and hand on belly. And then as you exhale, nice, long, elongated exhale, sink that tail toward the ground. Wiggle your toes a little bit and maybe feel your feet on the floor. This time of year, most of us are barefoot because it's just too warm to be anything but. And really feel the bottoms of your feet. Remember that you have that bubbling spring right at the ball, the center of the ball of the foot, right at the back of the ball of the foot, and it is receiving energy from the ground. Okay, so as you inhale, you can receive that life force energy, that prana, in through the breath and also through the earth, through the balls of the feet. And if you were standing, you could do some rocking from front to back or side to side. And so if you want to wiggle your feet on the ground or wiggle your toes a little bit, if you wiggle your toes, then you can spread them and place the baby toe on the floor and then the next one, and then all the way to the big toe, really pressing that big toe mound into the floor or the ground or the grass or the deck or wherever you are. If you're outside and you're wearing shoes, you might want to kick those shoes off, or sandals or flip-flops or whatever they are. And keeping in mind that thing that makes you uncomfortable. And we're just going to sit with that for a moment. No judgment, just allowing yourself to dislike it. Something that maybe annoys you, frustrates you, angers you, upsets you. Again, nothing morally questionable, nothing big, nothing that has deep grief associated with it. So just feeling into that discomfort, contemplating it, and continuing to soothe yourself through it. And as you do that, just know that you are currently right in this moment, staying open to a perspective that stretches you beyond your comfort zone. this is how it feels. Well done, you. So as you sit in that, I'm going to check in to see if there are things to balance or shift for you, and just continue being in your space. And then Valen is going to start talking about our new vision. Very exciting.
In some ways, over the last, at least for the last year, we've kind of pulled apart, maybe in the last 2 years, we've pulled apart a lot of these pieces. There's planets coming together in a configuration in the sky that hasn't been seen in our civilization. Now, I don't have software to check this, but it's what astrologers who do have said. So we are at, in 2026, this incredible time when these new energies are connecting, and that is happening in the middle of this month. So we've already been exploring a lot of these planetary energies, and I'll just give you, a quick little recap on them. But what's happening now is they are all coming together. They're all meeting at 4 degrees in the sky, and this becomes really potent, and it is a beginning of this new, a new energetic way of being in the world. Things are shifting, and we can see it in the external world. For not that everybody understands what they're living, but we can see it externally that people are not behaving well. Things are falling apart. The old ways are falling away, and we can take that into ourselves to embrace the change and allow the old pieces of ourselves to fall away now. So the planets that are lining up in the middle of July are Pluto in Aquarius, and that's about being in our authentic power. Neptune in Aries, courageous, heart-centered spirit connection, allowing ourselves to be guided by spirit, by source, by our wisdom. Uranus in Gemini, new perspectives that bring insights and awakening to us. Jupiter in Leo, expanded confidence, creativity, and open-hearted expression. All these energies are coming together, and they are going to travel together, and not with Jupiter, but the other 3 planets are going to travel together for the next 3 years, 2 years and a bit. And we're going to get a chance to feel them coming together, feel them intensify. This is a big shift. So as we step into it in the middle of this month, it's not a place where it's at the beginning. And this is a beginning of a huge cycle. And it's not something that we necessarily will understand or fully integrate, even over the course of this year. There's so much that's going to be changing around us and within us as we adapt to these energies. So it's an opportunity to step into your own power, to follow your dreams. An incredible time for this, very empowering. And I didn't say the way that these planets are set up is all in flow. It's supportive. So we really want to acknowledge what we want to flow in our life. That's a huge piece of this. It is a powerful opportunity for any kind of new manifestation as you step into your future, as you reimagine your future, as you think about what the path is that you would like to follow that feels aligned, feels empowered. And we are opening to new frequencies and new levels of consciousness. And that is happening for everyone. But when you have the opportunity to be aware of it and to start to pay attention to what that means for you, and it can be very nebulous, but you can look for guidance. You can ask for signs. I'm a big one for synchronicities. Ask for the signs that are allowing you to realize you're connecting to higher frequencies. Watch for your dreams. Recognize where you are accessing different parts of your consciousness that may be new. That may go into and this doesn't really feel comfortable. It's out of my comfort zone. So all of this is happening. And with that Neptunian energy, we are being guided by our intuitive, our connection to our inner wisdom, our intuitive support system. And so that is heart-centered as well. So what we want to do is let the heart lead, let it guide us, let our intuitive guidance show us what's unfolding for us, and allow us to trust, because we may not see what we are fully starting. We may have a sense of there's a direction that I'm changing it, but it may not be fully formed. We have to trust this. And this is an incredible opportunity because the astrological support is here for each of us to create a new vision for ourselves. It doesn't have to be a whole vision, but there can just be a piece where this is at a balance. I'm ready to move on with this. I'm ready to let go of something. We are truly empowered. And I probably have it on the next slide, but because of this incredibly powerful astrology that is reshaping humanity, this is not a time for us to sit back. This is a time for us to really acknowledge where we want to go, what steps, even if it's a small thing, what we want to do to truly be our authentic self. It's a powerful time. And I use the match image because this is all fire and air. We are being asked, spirit is being guided us. Things are getting faster. It's a dramatic and exciting time that we're living.
So I had to chuckle because before, I don't know, I guess I edited this, but I didn't see the expanded confidence piece. And then I recalibrated for I am confident for everyone for the last one. So, and I think it's really interesting because I thought about it. When it came up, I thought, like, really? What? I don't get it. And then when I thought about it for a minute, I thought, sure, it's when I'm feeling the most insecure or when my self-esteem feels a little shaky that I feel like I need to convince somebody of my point of view. Right? But if I'm confident in what I think is right for me, then I can sit with the discomfort of somebody else's attitude that I think is dumb or, nasty or rude or whatever, right? Or if the person is being inconsiderate or thoughtless, in my opinion. I can just sit with my own sense of what's right for me and let that experience be what it is. And I think that that's brilliant. So here we are recalibrating for I am confident. And there's that Jupiter and Leo piece really offering to support us with that. Okay, so we're going to allow for some intuitive guidance and trust the connection to our inner wisdom. And Velen was talking about that just now in terms of what that may look like for you or feel like for you. So we're going to take a moment to go back into that place where we have one hand on the heart energy center and one on the belly. We're going to close our eyes and just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose again. Sorry, I'm just going to go over here and mute that person. There we go. So just take a moment here to feel into the presence of your body in the space that it's in. So notice your seat, wiggle your hips a little bit, wiggle those toes, settle the feet on the ground. And again, that nice long exhalation through the nose. And whatever shape the breath takes for you, that works well for you, go ahead and do that. Nice deep inhalation, however long feels right for you. And then again, exhaling through the nose, nice and long, allowing that to be a little bit longer than the inhalation, however long that was, maybe 4 beats or 5. And then the exhalation is 6 or 7. And we're going to do that one more time. And as you exhale and sink a little bit further towards the earth, you're going to drop that tether from the belly, from the womb space, right down, down, down into the earth, just a little bit past your earth star or earth chakra. Reaching into the earth, feeling how the roots are expanding just like a tree, and then opening up at the crown of your head, allowing that 7th chakra to be nice and open, opening to the cosmos. And feel how your heart space is suspended in the center. It's the 4th energy center, 5, 6, and 7 above, 3, 2, and 1 below. So feel yourself just kind of suspended in that open heart, feeling that confidence that we invited in. feeling that connection to whatever it is that helps you to be open-hearted. And in your mind's eye, we're just going to journey a little ways, just outside. Maybe you're outside already. We're going to walk down a little hill into a small valley, a small clearing. Many wildflowers. You can hear the buzzing of insects. None of them are interested in you, so don't worry, no biting here. We're going to approach a creek. It's a gently flowing creek. It's not quite a river, just a soft flowing body of water. It's moving. It's making a kind of a rippling, trickling, gentle sound. There are some birds here and there, maybe some chickadees, maybe some blue jays, maybe a crow flying overhead, a little caw here and there. Just some really sweet energy as we sit and allow ourselves to find either a stump or a rock, or just sit yourself on the grass and be in this moment. And as you sit here, you might have a friend, a guide, an animal, a person, a mentor, a guru who shows up for you. Could be an animal who's a guide, it could be a bird, it could be a vision of some kind, or an individual who just approaches and sits with you. There's no conversation necessarily. And you feel at peace in your heart and in your belly, and you feel at one with this being who is with you. Maybe even it's just the image of a tree that's come to you. It helps you to feel rooted and grounded, safe and connected. And from this place, simply ask yourself, what feels like an inner yes for me? When I know that something is right for me, when it fully lands, how does that inner yes occur for me? It might be a feeling of alignment, a feeling of the word yes actually appearing in your mind, or a vision in your mind's eye, or a color, or a specific sensation in the belly or in the lower extremities. You may feel a tingling or a little butterflies in the belly that is a pleasant sensation. Any of those things or none of those things, something that's just peculiar to you, maybe a little tingling, a little buzzing. Just notice your inner yes. And making a note of that for yourself so that you can maybe write it down for yourself later. Just make a note. Yeah, that's my inner yes. And it might be actually just the feeling of leaning in. Yesterday, when Sarah was doing human design with us, she talked about an feeling of a leaning in, a leaning toward, an attraction. So maybe that's your inner yes. Just sitting in that feeling of inner yes. And when you're ready, just noticing, looking around, bringing back maybe that idea from earlier about the thing that makes you uncomfortable, and feeling that sense of no. When that no lands within you, there's a leaning back away, perhaps. There's a cooling off. Maybe the blood retreats a little bit. Maybe there's a feeling of contraction or constriction, a shortening of the breath. Maybe there's a feeling of buzzing or misalignment. So just noticing that no. And then when you're ready, go back, paying attention to your guide, that inner yes. Go back to that feeling of inner yes. that more desirable, attractive sensation. And knowing that when it arrives, it will arrive fully for you, and trusting that. Trusting that feeling, trusting your body, trusting the sensation, trusting the communication, trusting your awareness, trusting you. And when you're ready, just taking a couple of steps backward, saying your thank yous, your gratitude for the creek and its wisdom, for the stone or the stump or the grass that you've been sitting on, for the guide that arrived, just acknowledging, thank you, and then turning and returning to your space. And in your own time, as you breathe in through the nose for whatever length of time feels right for you, and then exhaling. Nice long exhalation, coming back to your space and making a note for yourself if you feel like you need to, or just sitting in that sensation of inner yes. And now Valen is going to share with us all about embracing that change.
So when I was thinking about pulling these things together, I was thinking part of the gift of knowing the astrology is recognizing the patterns, the energies, the shifts that are occurring and embracing. And so knowing through the astrology that we are collectively and personally at a moment of transformation, evolution, of change. And so to make the best use of this energetic planetary guidance and support that's offered to us right now, one way to really tap into it is be very intentional about what you want to flow in your life. Everything's supported, and there's supportive aspects, supportive planetary configuration. And what we want to do is make sure that what is flowing in our life is what we want. Incredibly important, because it's almost as if I was saying in readings, these planets are locking into their position in a way. They're connecting for the first time. We want to take advantage of that. The other piece about this, which is what I did say before, is that when we follow what inspires us, recognize that action, in a way, this year's the year to take action. This is not a year to sit back and think, oh, you know what, I'll do that next year. This is a time, it doesn't mean a big thing. It just means taking a step in the direction that is aligned to where you want to go. And there's a lot of places in my mind that I'm not crystal clear what the outcome is, but I can follow the feeling of that's the direction I want to go in, and take small steps, but absolutely taking action is part of this energetic support that we're living in. And because here's a little bit of, towards the end of the month, there's a little bit of extra water that is going to be supporting us. Mercury is in Cancer. We talked about this last month, but I thought I'd just bring it up again. It's in Cancer all month, which is an extraordinary long time for Mercury to be in a sign, because it's gone retrograde. And when the planet goes retrograde, we get to turn in, we get to reflect, we get to examine in the Mercury maybe what our thoughts are. And it's in Cancer and our emotions. And so Cancer wants to nurture, protect us. So how I feel is that what's happening is that Mercury, through this incredible month that we're living, Mercury is there to slow us down and to really reflect on what nurtures us in this incredible time of transformation. So we need to create a space and time to allow for this. And because things are fast and furious, there's a lot of information coming at us, there's a lot of change happening, and it's all different for everyone. But in the external world, we can see all this happening. We need to purposefully create the pauses, create the space and the time to acknowledge what really nurtures us. It's really important, and it is really supported this month with this. And change is not always comfortable. We sort of touched on this already. So with all this Aquarian energy, we want to find those in our life who are supportive of what where we are going, what we're feeling, what we're exploring, all of the pieces that come up when we're in a transformation. And recognizing that, once again, this configuration hasn't been seen in our human civilization as we know it. And therefore, all of the energies that we need to integrate. We'll need to find ways to feel into them, to use them, to feel these higher frequencies. What is that like for us? There's patience involved here. And with all this fire and air, that patience is not a word that comes to mind when you think about fire and air. It's moving, it's fast, it's passionate. And this is also a chance to recognize that it may take us years to integrate what we are truly living from July onward. And a big, huge reminder, we have all chosen to be here. Our soul said, I want to be here while this incredible planet goes through this transformation. So we've all shown up to offer our authentic self, offer our essence, offer our particular gifts, our uniqueness, in whatever way that we choose to do that for this time of transformation. And I actually pulled a part of this from last month's slide because I thought with all that's happening this month, this is so important. So life is moving fast. I don't know if you've all been experiencing this, but time is, I can't keep track. I don't know what day it is. And I heard on a podcast, someone said, I can't remember who it was, but called it time vertigo. And that's exactly how it feels. It kind of makes me dizzy when I think, what just happened to June? And now we're in July. And anyways, that's happening. That is real. That's exactly how life is going to be. Things are going to move fast. So it's really important for us to find ways to ground ourselves, find inner safety, calm our nervous system, and quiet our minds. This is hugely important so that we can live, we can be intentional about how we want to live. We need to do that from a quiet place. And of course, any tools that, lots of tools that we have all gotten through our circles or whatever allows you to just pause and, feet on the ground, take a breath. Any of those things is going to be really important as we move forward.
Love that. And I think we might actually gather up some of those if folks have some of your favorite ways to just help your nervous system to find balance, to find equilibrium, to quiet your mind, to create that sense of inner safety. If you have a particularly favorite practice or methodology that you prefer, if you want to share that, we can send that round to our entire group, almost a couple hundred of us at this point. And that would be really helpful, I think. So for now, we're just going to do a little tapping practice. So we're going to focus on, we have all chosen to be here at this transformative time. And some of us may not be super clear about why, or we might be struggling with that purpose. So the purpose may feel very clear mentally, but manifesting it might be a bit of a challenge. And so we're going to do a little tapping, little triple warmer tapping. So we're just going to take our non-dominant hand, place it back onto that heart energy center. Notice that we're doing lots of stuff around the heart energy center tonight. And I have this beautiful moon necklace, which when I tap it is going to stab me. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put my hand underneath the necklace. And you're just going to tap that space that is between the pinky and the ring metacarpal. So right there. Okay. Just tap very gently. Doesn't have to be fierce. Lots of fire and air, so we don't have to be fierce with this. And as we do this, we're going to say, even though I feel, and you fill in the blank, whatever you're feeling, even though I feel frustrated, even though I feel irritated, even though I feel sad, even though I feel disillusioned with what's happening, even though I am disbelieving of the kinds of things, the kinds of circus activity that's going on with our leaders these days, whatever it is, right? You can tell I focus on politics. Whatever it is, right? Even though I feel blown away by how expensive bread has gotten, whatever it is, right? Even though I feel fill in the blank, I completely and totally love myself, accept and love myself, and choose to be here at this time. So even though I feel fill in the blank, I completely love and accept myself and choose to be here at this time. So we're using that standard tapping sequence, very simple, even though you're going to fill in the blank. I feel, and you can say the same thing over and over again. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be original. It doesn't have to be a new thing. Even though I feel frustrated, even though I feel I'm not always grateful, even though I feel unclear, even though I feel afraid, right? Whatever it is, I completely and totally love and accept myself and choose to be here at this time. Okay, so we're going to leave you with that practice, and we're going to stop the recording now. Pause the recording now. Are we going to? Can we? Yes, we can. Okay, well, thanks everybody for being with us this evening and for jumping into the recording. When you take a look, we are looking forward to yet another Astro Healing Circle on the first Wednesday of August. That'll be the 5th of August, same bat station, same bat time. And you can tell what generation I come from. And we will see you then, and have a beautiful, warm July, and stay cool with that nice long exhale breath that we were practicing.